The Combat Tuesday continues. Wrestling Reality from 2 to 3 every single afternoon, and that is sponsored by Gladiators of the Cage MMA. And then here we are, 3 o'clock every single Tuesday, 3 to 3:30, the half hour of MMA. I am Justin LeBar alongside the execs from Gladiators of the Cage, based here in Pittsburgh, but that doesn't mean you have to be in Pittsburgh. You can watch the awesome action anywhere in the world. All you have to do is check out their website, gotcmma.com. Robert, Scott, back together after a shaky few weeks of scheduling and life.
Oh, it's been crazy busy.
He survived the assassination attempt.
And he
attempt
survived
on me and
his classes. So
I tried staging a coup, but
working next to Scott's probably the greatest training you can have of coming out of the accident. You coming out of
I'll tell you what, it makes everything heal faster. That's all I got to say.
Guys, let's talk about fast.
Fat or facts?
Fast.
Okay, I got you.
It'll be pretty fast.
Call me fat.
No, it'll be. I was trying to segue. That's what we.
Right,
it'll be pretty fast when Jon Bones Jones is completely a free man. Obviously, he had the incident back in April. The UFC fighter did, where he, with his vehicle, struck a pregnant woman, injured her, and then he took off on foot.
Yep.
It has came out.
Hit and run.
He pleaded guilty, and he has gotten 18 months of probation.
Isn't this a great country we live in? It's a great country we live in. You get involved in a hit and run, aggravated assault type incident, and man, you get probation.
Let me ask you.
That's such bullshit.
Let me ask you guys this, and I know that I think you and I have talked about this in the past, where obviously you guys have certain policies for your fighters. If you find out they're involved in domestic stuff, then they're gone. Do you think this is going to be a backlash of the audience towards him, or is he still going to have his following at these fights?
Well, you know what? Look at the Michael Vick situation. Now that he's our starting quarterback, how far is that backlash going to go? I think this will be forgotten by the end of his probation, and he'll be back on status where he was.
But there's also a difference of Michael, and I'm a huge dog lover.
It's the same concept.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference of abusing dogs and paying your debt and doing jail, time in prison versus. This guy basically, and I said to you guys just before we went on air, thank God.
Well, he'll do his 18 months. He's going to serve his time.
A probation. He's still
that's
a
what he
free man.
took.
Same concept.
He's got an ankle, but he's not even
that was the deal. That was the deal he took to avoid the grand jury. Then he'd have to explain everything, all his actions. So I mean, just taking an 18-month hit was just a quick.
That's not really paying much debt to society. It's probation. All you have to do is just not get in trouble again.
Well, no, it is supervised, where he has to attend like 72 events and go and talk to kids about. Leaving witnesses alive.
It's
a lot better than living in a 5x6 cell.
Yeah,
See, he should have just.
And I'm sure he cut a couple checks.
He should have just finished her off. There'd have been no witnesses.
Jesus.
No witnesses. The glove don't fit. You must have quit, right? That's OJ.
Just for clarification purposes, Triple F Radio does not endorse all things said and all opinions said.
I don't endorse
felonies.
I don't even endorse the things this guy says. So we're all right.
All right, moving on from Jon Jones, sticking with the UFC. UFC talking about going to do an event at the most famous arena. Obviously, great for boxing, great for wrestling at Madison Square Garden.
Well, yeah, they made an announcement yesterday that they have all intentions to taking an event to Madison Square Garden. It's April 23rd, 2016. Probably going to be UFC 198. The funny part about this all is that MMA is still banned in the state of New York.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, when I read that, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's still banned. So
it is.
So are they anticipating that they know something?
What they're planning on doing is they've already filed injunctions with the courts up there, and they're making some headway with it. And now they filed another injunction, to which they think they're going to have great success with, and that they'll be able to have this event in Madison Square Garden. Now, Madison Square Garden seats 20,000 people, so it would be a great market for the UFC, and they're hungry for MMA up there.
Yeah.
Now, they got plenty of good fighters come out of New York. They do have MMA events there, but they're mainly on, like I said, the Indian reservations and are non-sanctioned.
I wonder, and this is me bringing the wrestling into this, there's been a lot of speculation recently and rumors that UFC is getting closer to announcing the first fight and opponent for CM Punk, the WWE wrestler and now training to be an MMA fighter. And Madison Square Garden being such a pivotal arena for wrestling, and Punk's had many events there. I wonder if they will tie. And Punk has a huge following.
Well, it'd be a smart move for them, wouldn't it?
I thought the same thing on that. That's a valid point.
Just think of the marketing they could do for that. Yeah. It'd be a great sell. Yeah. And like again, New York is just very hungry right now for the MMA, and I think it'd be a great success for them. However, getting the legislation to go through, but this just goes to show you the power of the UFC.
If Dana White can help get 18 months for Jon Jones, I'm pretty sure that we.
But there's also
in New York.
But there's also talk of UFC being sold. There's been a lot of talk and speculation that that's why they're getting the uniforms, are getting prepped to sell. So that's an interesting.
That's another rumor mill type thing.
That's a little interesting thing.
That might be a future conversation for a future video. And again, thank everybody for tuning in to our Triple Live Radio YouTube videos. Make sure you hit subscribe, and of course, if you want to hear the entire half hour of more of all the shenanigans we're getting ready to discuss, be sure you subscribe to Triple Live Radio and hear the audio podcast.
We'll hear you later.
Share.